Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the glamorous, scandalous, and ever-thrilling world of Los Angeles fashion. Today is a beautiful day to unpack the latest explosive drama unfolding behind the closed doors of Forrester Creations. The tension is palpable, the stakes have never been higher, and the secrets are becoming more dangerous by the minute. Let us step right into the heart of the storm. The aftermath of the spectacular and highly controversial Hope by Logan launch has left a massive trail of destruction, and nowhere is the devastation more profoundly felt than within the hallowed halls of Forrester Creations. The once warm and inviting corridors now feel like a frozen, unforgiving wasteland for Donna Logan Forrester. Following the brutal and humiliating expulsion from the executive office at the hands of an enraged Ridge Forrester and a profoundly heartbroken Eric Forrester, Donna finds herself entirely adrift. The company that once served as her kingdom, where she stood proudly and lovingly by the side of the patriarch, has suddenly transformed into a hostile fortress. Every glance from passing employees feels like a silent accusation, a piercing reminder of her complicity in what the family views as the ultimate betrayal against the Forrester legacy. Donna is a woman caught in the crossfire of a vicious fashion war she never wanted to fight, bearing the agonizing weight of a secret that has shattered her entire world. The psychological toll of this sudden banishment cannot be overstated. For years, Donna has defined herself by her unwavering devotion to Eric, acting as his muse, his protector, and his loving wife. However, her fatal decision to conceal the truth about Hope Logan Spencer's secret defection to Katie's rival fashion house has violently fractured that foundation. Donna's silence was born out of a desperate, perhaps misguided attempt to protect her sisters and her niece, but in the eyes of the Forrester men, it was an unforgivable act of treason. The memory of Eric's face contorted with profound disappointment and quiet agony as he personally escorted her out of the office blaze on a relentless, torturous loop in her mind. She is suffocating under the crushing realization that her fierce loyalty to her bloodline might have permanently destroyed the greatest love of her life, leaving her an outcast in the very place she called home. It is in this precise moment of devastating vulnerability, as Donna stands isolated in the shadows of the design house she helped build, that Hope Logan Spencer makes her calculated approach. Hope is no longer the timid, accommodating daughter of Brooke Logan. She is a woman completely transformed by the intoxicating thrill of absolute autonomy and the massive, undeniable success of her recent runway debut. Radiating a newfound, almost dangerous confidence, Hope immediately recognizes the profound despair etched across her aunt's face. She sees not just a grieving wife mourning a fractured marriage, but a highly capable, intelligent woman who has been systematically marginalized and discarded by the dictatorial patriarchy of the Forrester family. Hope understands this feeling all too intimately, having just broken free from those very same invisible chains that held her creative spirit hostage for years. Seizing the opportunity with a strategic brilliance that rivals her Aunt Katie's corporate maneuvers, Hope extends a lifeline that is as tempting as it is highly controversial. She does not come offering mere condolences or a shoulder to cry on. She comes bearing a proposition that could alter the trajectory of Donna's entire life. With unwavering eye contact and a voice laced with fierce determination, Hope officially offers Donna the highly coveted position of Public Relations Director for the newly minted, industry-shaking brand Hope by Logan. It is a masterstroke of recruitment, a strategic maneuver designed to capitalize on Donna's extensive industry connections, her innate charm, and, most importantly, her current state of profound alienation from the Forrester dynasty. Hope knows exactly what she is doing, and she knows exactly how to pitch it. Hope's argument is a masterclass in emotional persuasion, striking every single chord of Donna's deep-seated insecurities and unfulfilled professional desires. Hope passionately argues that Donna has spent far too long shrinking herself to fit into the rigid, unforgiving mold demanded by Ridge and Steffy Forrester Finnegan. She paints a vivid, damning picture of the Forrester corporate culture, a culture that, in Hope's eyes, demands absolute subservience and punishes any deviation with ruthless expulsion. Hope gently but firmly reminds Donna of the countless times her contributions were dismissed, her voice silenced, and her presence merely tolerated by those who viewed her as nothing more than an extension of the Logan family's perceived manipulative agenda. Hope is holding up a mirror to Donna's pain, validating every tear she has shed over the family's harsh judgments. "You deserve to be celebrated, Aunt Donna, not merely tolerated." Hope's words echo in the silent corridor, carrying the weight of a revolutionary manifesto. She promises Donna a sanctuary at Logan, a place where her talents will be recognized, her opinions valued, and her legacy respected. In this new empire, built by Logan women for Logan women, there will be no dictatorial decrees from an arrogant Ridge, no condescending glares from a vengeful Steffy, and no constant need to apologize for her last name. Hope is offering Donna the ultimate emancipation, a chance to step out of Eric's formidable shadow and forge her own distinct identity in the cutthroat world of high fashion. She is offering her a home where her loyalty will be rewarded, not punished. The gravity of the offer hits Donna with the force of a tidal wave, plunging her into a state of agonizing internal conflict. The position of PR director for Hope by Logan is not just a job title. It is a definitive declaration of allegiance in a corporate war that is currently tearing Los Angeles apart. To accept this role is to stand proudly on the front lines against Forrester Creations, to actively promote the very brand that humiliated her husband and threatened to turn his highly anticipated haute couture return into a financial disaster. It is a choice that requires Donna to sever the final, fraying threads of her connection to the Forrester family, burning the bridge back to Eric's heart forever. Donna's heart becomes a brutal battlefield of competing loyalties and profound grief. On one side stands her family, the fierce, unbreakable bond of the Logan sisters, the bloodline that has always been her ultimate safety net. Katie and Hope are building something extraordinary, an empire born from the ashes of Forrester's dismissive arrogance, and they are begging her to be a vital part of it. The allure of being truly needed, of working in an environment free from the suffocating judgment of her stepchildren, is a siren song that Donna finds incredibly difficult to ignore. For the first time in years, she's being offered a seat at the head of the table rather than just a quiet place in the audience. The prospect of professional validation is intoxicating. Yet, on the other side of this excruciating divide is Eric Forrester, the man who holds her heart. Her beloved honey bear, the patriarch whose love has been her guiding light through her darkest days. Despite the brutal sting of her recent banishment, Donna's love for Eric remains a deep, undeniable force that anchors her soul. She knows with absolute certainty that accepting Hope's offer would be the final nail in the coffin of her marriage. It would validate every paranoid accusation Ridge has ever hurled at her, proving that when the chips are down, she will always choose the Logans over the Forresters. Donna is paralyzed by the terrifying realization that she must choose between her professional salvation and her romantic survival, knowing that either choice will leave her permanently scarred. What neither woman realizes as they stand locked in this intense, life-altering conversation in the seemingly empty corridor is that they are not alone. Concealed in the shadows just around the corner, his presence completely masked by the heavy silence of the building, stands Eric Forrester. The patriarch had been wandering his own halls, grappling with the devastating fallout of the fashion show disaster and the agonizing fracture of his marriage. He had come seeking a moment of quiet reflection, perhaps even harboring a faint, desperate hope of finding Donna to begin the arduous process of healing and understanding. Instead, he has stumbled into a waking nightmare, becoming the unseen audience to a conversation that will forever alter the landscape of his life and his legacy. As Eric listens to Hope's impassioned pitch, a cold, suffocating dread washes over him, freezing the blood in his veins. Every word Hope speaks feels like a calculated, vicious strike against his legacy, a systematic dismantling of the life and company he has built from the ground up. He hears the venom in Hope's voice as she describes his family as dictatorial and oppressive, and he feels a sudden surge of protective fury for Ridge and Steffy. But the true source of his agonizing pain is not Hope's ruthless ambition. It is Donna's silence. Eric stands frozen in the shadows, his heart pounding a frantic, desperate rhythm against his ribs, waiting with bated breath for his wife to defend him, to reject the offer outright, to declare that her marriage is worth infinitely more than any corporate title. But the immediate, fierce rejection Eric so desperately craves never comes. Instead, he hears Donna's hesitation, the agonizing, prolonged pause that speaks volumes about her internal turmoil. He hears the subtle shift in her breathing, the unspoken temptation lingering heavily in the air between the two Logan women. For Eric, that hesitation is a fatal blow, a dagger plunged directly into his already bleeding heart. It is the shattering realization that his love, his devotion, and the beautiful life they have shared might not be enough to counter the magnetic pull of the Logan sisterhood. The betrayal of her previous silence regarding Hope's defection was incredibly painful. But this active contemplation of joining the enemy camp is a mortal wound from which he fears his heart can never recover. In the quiet darkness of the corridor, Eric's perception of his wife undergoes a devastating, irreversible transformation. He no longer sees the innocent, loving woman who brought sunshine and laughter into his twilight years. He sees a woman whose ultimate loyalty will always belong to a rival faction, no matter the cost to him. The realization hits him with the crushing weight of a collapsing building. The Logan bond is an impenetrable fortress, and he will forever remain an outsider in his own marriage. The sacred trust that forms the absolute bedrock of their union has not just been fractured. It has been pulverized into dust by the relentless machinery of corporate ambition and deep-seated family politics. As the conversation between Hope and Donna continues to unfold, Eric makes a silent, heartbreaking decision in the shadows. The pain radiating through his chest is a stark, cruel reminder of his own mortality and the precious fragility of time. He realizes that he cannot spend the rest of his life constantly looking over his shoulder, wondering when the next betrayal will occur, or when his wife will once again prioritize her sisters over his legacy and his feelings. The thought of divorce, once an unimaginable horror that he fought so hard to avoid, now begins to crystallize in his mind as an agonizing but necessary inevitability. He cannot force Donna to choose him, and he refuses to lower himself to beg for a loyalty that should be freely and unconditionally given. The dramatic tension in the halls of Forrester Creations has reached an absolute boiling point, setting the stage for an explosive confrontation that will send massive shockwaves through the entire global fashion industry. Donna stands at the precipice of a monumental decision, completely unaware that the man she loves more than anything is standing just feet away, silently mourning the sudden death of their marriage. Will Donna succumb to the alluring promise of empowerment and join the Logan Empire, effectively declaring a final war on her husband? Or will she find the strength to reject Hope's offer and fight desperately for a marriage that is currently hanging by a thread? Whatever her choice, the devastating reality is that Eric has already heard enough. The ultimate betrayal has been witnessed, and the Forrester patriarch is now preparing to make a move that will change their lives forever.